Hi, I'm MICHAELJOSH, your gadget matchmaker, helping you find the right device to match your needs. I'm still a little hoarse from spending a week in Texas talking to a lot of people at South by Southwest, but during that trip, I got to road test the new iPad Air, which officially goes on sale starting this week. So if you've been looking to buy one, make sure you watch this video first. This is our 2022 iPad Air review. Before we start, an unboxing, and we'll make this quick so that we have more time to talk about the other stuff. Unlike the iPhone, the iPad still comes wrapped in plastic. You tug here to easily peel it off. Inside, the iPad is wrapped in paper, and I can't wait to show you this new color, by the way. In the paperwork packet, you'll get Apple stickers, a SIM card ejector tool if you get the cellular model, and an illustrated quick start guide. Apple also includes a USB-C to C cable and a 20-watt power adapter. The new iPad is available in 5 colors: space gray, starlight, pink, purple, and blue. These are the same colors the iPad mini is available in, except for blue, which is new. The last generation iPad Air was available in sky blue. This new shade is a darker, richer blue. It even matches my Series 7 Apple Watch really well. And because I know you want to see more, here's a little bit of B-roll of it alongside some other blue Apple products. In a world where a lot of folks own both an iPhone and a Mac laptop, do you need an Apple tablet is a very fair question to ask. And the answer is probably not everybody needs one, but there are also a lot of great use cases. So let me know down below if one of these use cases applies to you. Last week, I visited my friends Judy and Kev on their ranch in Texas, and use case number 1 is for watching movies while flying. Chances are this screen is better than what's on the plane, if your seat even has one. And because a lot of apps let you download content for offline viewing, you don't have to worry about a limited selection. During my long layover in Dallas, I was also able to catch up on some comic book and magazine reading. And when I was done with my movie, I booted up my Kindle app to finish reading a book. And then there's plenty of game titles too, whether you're playing Pokemon Unite or the latest Apple Arcade title with a paired controller. I also take my iPad with me for some remote Fitness Plus sessions from hotel rooms or even outdoors. As a Lego fan, I always use an iPad to display building instructions. And when I took apart some pieces from Kev's Death Star so I could clean it, instructions on my iPad Air helped me put it back together again. Of course, these are use cases that apply to me, but I've seen iPads used at restaurants and hospitals, and there are a lot of other specialty apps that make this great for a variety of other cases as well. By the way, speaking of the Death Star, while cleaning it out, I thought it would be the perfect time to try out some of the cases from this video's sponsor, ESR. These cases don't just offer protection, they also make both work and play on the new iPad Air more ergonomic. The Rebound Hybrid 360 has 2 parts, a detachable magnetic cover to keep your screen protected, and a case with a clear back and shock-absorbing corners that keep your iPad Air protected with or without the magnetic cover. The magnets on the cover let you instantly switch from free move mode to stand mode for watching movies, or vertical stand mode, so you can also securely prop your iPad like so when you're browsing the internet, for example. On stand mode, you can also adjust the tilt depending on your preference. Or if you're drawing or taking notes with the Apple Pencil, you can also lower it like this. For something a little bit more low-key, there's also the Rebound magnetic case. It covers both the back and the screen of the iPad Air, and thanks to its powerful magnets, the iPad stays securely in place. Its extended edges work to absorb shock too. And I love this flap that goes over the Apple Pencil. Not only does it keep me from misplacing it, It also keeps it paired and wirelessly charged at the same time. If you're in the market for an iPad Air case, I'll put all the links down below so that you can get up to 10% off your order. And if you'd like to win an iPad Air for yourself, ESR is also running a contest on their website. All the important links are down below. Now let's talk about the most significant updates on this new 2022 model. My brother James actually had asked me if it was the right time to buy an iPad Air late last year, but I told him to wait because the iPad mini had just come out, and along with it came some new cool camera features the previous Air didn't have. And sure enough, the new iPad Air comes with a new 12 megapixel ultra-wide front camera and now has center stage, which is a feature that keeps you perfectly in frame even if you're moving around. By the way, center stage doesn't only just work on FaceTime, it also works with a host of other third-party video calling apps like Zoom and WebEx. Definitely designed with work from home in mind. Meanwhile, its back camera has the same hardware as the previous model, but thanks to a new and improved ISP, it takes even better photos. Take a look at some photos I shot at the ranch. Perhaps the best reason, though, to check out the new 2022 iPad Air is power. Let me explain. Apple makes chips for the iPhone. The latest is called A15 Bionic. Apple also makes chips for computers, M1. Historically, Apple uses spec'd up A-series chips on its iPads, and they've been just fine. But last year, Apple decided to put M1 chips on the new iPad Pro. So to put that in context, the iPad Pro now has the same computing power as, say, a MacBook Pro or an iMac. Well, this year, Apple took that same chip and put it on the iPad Air as well. Anything you want to do, it can handle, whether you're editing 4K videos or playing a graphics-intensive game. Also, if you're planning on holding on to this device for many years, just think of it as future-proofing, knowing that this device is going to be able to keep up with the times. Oh, and speaking of future-proofing, if you get the cellular model, the new iPad Air now supports 5G networks. So if you travel a lot, I'd consider the cellular model. Last week, I enjoyed being in the middle of an empty field, but still with enough cellular connectivity to get some work done. 5G also comes in handy for some last-minute music downloads before takeoff. Next on the agenda, let's talk about accessories. Now, I say this a lot, but you're not going to get the most out of your iPad without an Apple Pencil. It sticks on like so and charges while it's connected. If you're like me, the type who likes to take notes with a pen, then the Apple Pencil 2 is more than worth its $129 asking price. But I do wish for a faster refresh rate on this device, if only to improve its latency. Unlike the iPad Pro that comes with a 120Hz ProMotion display, the iPad Air has a 60Hz display. And as a result, the latency is 18 milliseconds instead of 9. For everyday use, this isn't going to be much of an issue, and without a point of reference or comparison, you might not even notice, but I do. And I wish the lag would be cut down even further. I'd go as far as saying a faster display is more important on a screen this big versus, say, the iPhone 13. Now, where the iPad goes from tablet to laptop replacement is when you purchase the Magic Keyboard for the iPad. It's a pricey $299 purchase, and I'm often asked if it's worth it. So here are my thoughts on the subject. Instead of a folio case or a case with a built-in keyboard, you can spend extra to get the Magic Keyboard for iPad, which is a keyboard case on steroids. I like that it raises the screen so you're not looking down as much. The iPad Air snaps on with magnets and connects via these 3 pins called Magic Connectors. So you don't need to connect via Bluetooth. Power is also transferred this way. And instead of having a cable dangle like this, you can use the pass-through power port on the Magic Keyboard side. By the way, if you're considering the iPad mini, it's also worth pointing out that there's nothing similar for that smaller device. But the same Magic Keyboard also supports the 11-inch iPad Pro, and there's a larger one for the 12.9-inch model. The case has a soft finish to it and is easy to clean. It comes in black and white, and I personally prefer the latter. The keyboard feels good and is similar to a standard Apple keyboard. So if you already use one, chances are muscle memory will kick in, and without looking, your fingers will know where everything is. Oh, and keys are backlit so that you can see the keys even if the room is dark. It's also got a built-in trackpad if you don't want to use the touchscreen. So yeah, even if pricey, the Magic Keyboard is my favorite keyboard accessory for the iPad. It makes the iPad Air more computer-like, and it allows me to leave my laptop at home when I travel. Now, going back to that, do I really need this if I already own a Mac question or problem? Well, you could also think of the iPad Air as an extension of your Mac. You can, for example, use the iPad as a second monitor, effectively giving you dual displays even while on the road. With a feature called Continuity, you can preview a PDF on your computer and then mark up from your iPad, which is so much easier to do with the Apple Pencil. And if you upgrade to iOS 15.4, there's a new feature called Universal Control. Just bring your iPad close to your Mac, and you can move your cursor back and forth between displays or devices. Even share one keyboard between the two, all while keeping your Mac and your iPad independent. So you could still use iPad apps on one side and Mac OS apps on the other, and then drag and drop files from Mac to the iPad and vice versa. Apple promises all-day battery life on the iPad Air. In my tests using a cellular model that switched between Wi-Fi and 5G, this translated to about 8 to 9 hours of continuous use. Using the bundled 20-watt charger, charging speeds are as follows: 25% in 30 minutes, 48% in an hour, and about 90% after 2 hours. The iPad Air is for everyone, but this week in Texas, I got to spend time with two special kids, and it got me thinking about how important of a device this is, not only for parents trying to keep their kids occupied, but also to develop some of their creative skills. So I thought I'd carve out a special section of this review and hand it over to them. Take it over, girls.
Hi, I'm Kitty and I'm 10. It is a good size for drawing and sketching. I like it and I think it's carryable. I think it's the perfect size personally because it would be the size that I have for one of my normal sketchbooks. I think that's one of my other favorite things because it fits in your backpack easily and the case protects it. I like drawing. I think it's really good by itself, but with the pen it boosts it up to a higher level. I like how when you double click it, you can erase it. You double click it first and you can use your pencil, and then you double click it again and then you erase with it. I did play a lot of games and I thought it was very fun, but you don't really need the pen for the games. It's okay though, and I'm not really mad about it. I just wish there was more games that you could use the pen with. The one flaw I don't like about it is that it's hard to search things, but other than that, I love everything about it. I think this is the perfect thing to bring to school and design with, and I hope you have fun with it too.
I'm Cambria and I'm 8. It's good for when you need to zoom in because then you can see everything. It has a ton of games in it, but my favorite is this coloring one. I'm also playing while I'm telling you. But this is what I'm doing. I'm just tapping right now. Very light purple, pink and blue.
Cami didn't know that the iPad Air actually already came in these colors. It's almost like Apple consulted her before making their color decisions. Now that they're powered by the same M1 chip, why should you even buy the iPad Pro? Well, the Pro model definitely has its advantages. There's a faster, brighter screen with lower pen latency, Face ID instead of Touch ID, and 2 more speakers, plus support for Thunderbolt and millimeter wave networks. Otherwise, they share the same footprint and support the same accessories. So unless you need an iPad for more specialized work, I suggest to save yourself some money and get the iPad Air. The iPad Air starts at $599 for the 64GB model. Honestly, I wish that it started at $128 because 64 gigabytes isn't a lot these days. Unfortunately, there's no middle option. It's either 64 gigs or 256 gigs, which is a pricey $150 jump. Maybe if you're not going to be collecting a lot of photos or editing video or downloading a lot of graphics-intensive games, then 64 gigabytes might work. But otherwise, I suggest that you consider investing in more storage. Investing is the right word, and if you want to invest in the entire experience, it can be pricey up front. Add the Apple Pencil and the Magic Keyboard, and you're already at $1,027. Upgrade to the cellular model, and it brings up your total to $1,177. That's almost a MacBook Air. So, is the iPad Air your gadget match? The standard iPad, the one with the home button, starts at $329. For me, that device is what the iPhone SE is to the iPhone, a more accessible way to afford being a part of this experience. But for most folks, the iPad mini and the iPad Air are the iPads to get. They both sport this sexy new design and are more future-proof. Get the iPad mini for portability and the iPad Air if you need a bigger, canvas-like screen and Magic Keyboard support. Depending on your needs, both are great devices for kids and adults alike. Only creative professionals should go for the iPad Pro unless you just want the best and have plenty of cash to spare. And that was our 2022 iPad Air review. It still remains one of my favorite iPads. So what about you? Which iPad would you choose and which one fits your needs? Sound off in the comments section below. We've got a lot more videos to come, so make sure you're subscribed to this YouTube channel and hit that bell icon so that you get notified as soon as we publish. Follow me on social media for all the behind the scenes fun stuff. And as always, for news and updates, make GadgetMatch.com your daily habit. Until the next video, I'm Michael Josh. Thanks for dropping by.